How you guys been? We haven't done this in a while.
This is true.
It's been a minute.
Been good.
We're back from sabbatical again.
That's right. No more of that live shit, although it was fun.
It was fun.
It was fun till like 2 o'clock.
Yeah. Fun all the way up until it wasn't.
Right.
Had a great time until I stopped having a great time.
And that was right at the beginning. Let's be honest. I'm just
It's just like after those 2 hours, I was just like, I'm drained.
Dude.
Yeah. It will too. It'll drain you.
And if you're not used to talking at length like that, like you'll end that fucking show with a sore throat every fucking time, dude.
Yep.
Luckily for me, I'm used to talking.
That was where I got off
coat my
easy on it.
throat with semen, and it seems to work just fine. Little semen mixed with some honey in there.
That's your new rap name, Lil Seaman.
Lil Seaman.
Dude, and then like Lil Seaman and Lil Fetus, we can bring him back.
Ooh.
Oh shit.
You guys remember Lil Fetus?
No.
Oh man.
I thought you made it up.
I did too.
No man. Okay. So, let me blow your mind. So, do you remember the show All That?
Oh
I
yeah.
love all that.
Fucking All That. Nick
Keenan
Cannon.
and Kel.
Keenan and Kel, man, that was the shit. But
Man,
Nick
the
Cannon,
binds.
Nick Cannon did a skit called Lil Fetus, and he was this like
I
little baby
remember.
fetus rapper.
Yes.
So they go inside like an intrauterine cam type view. And he would just say fucking weird ass shit.
Man. All that. This is all that.
Hell yeah. And then Keenan
Yeah,
and Kel, fucking LL Cool J did the
Lloyd Beth Denberg.
No, that was Coolio, bro.
Coolio, damn it.
Coolio,
I knew it was-
yeah.
I knew it was one of the cools.
It was one of the cool bastards.
You gotta give me credit for that.
What?
I almost went with
Hey, I'm
Barry
recording,
Manilow, but it
man.
didn't feel right.
Oh, boys and all girls, it's time for Keenan and Kel.
I guess since this is our first
Oh.
show back, we should probably introduce ourselves so they know whose voice.
Right, in case they've forgotten.
Right? Right now, it's just these. Who are these guys talking to each other? Oh, fuck if I know.
It's been a long time. I shouldn't have left you.
All these damn hoodlums out here.
I didn't know our show was produced by Timbaland. That's badass.
I mean,
Lil Hoodlums.
you gotta have a sponsor to make it in the rap game, dude.
Yeah,
That is
Rick
true.
Ross.
Right.
Like,
Rick Ross was apparently sponsored by Atlanta State Corrections Facility.
Dade County State's for Corrections
Dade
Facility.
County, my bad.
Dade.
Not a
County.
state
Bitch,
cop.
I'm from
huh?
Dade County.
Couldn't even be enough of a baller to be a state cop. Damn.
Damn.
I mean, if you didn't like
had to
fish
be
and
out in the
game,
county.
I'll give you some street cred.
Rick Ross is a fucking game warden.
He got that name from a camper he busted one time.
Man. He starts rapping about, kilos of cocaine and campers and shit. It's like, wait a second. You told
Out in
us,
the backwoods,
yeah,
moving bricks.
giving people fucking fishing license tickets and shit, taking away their tackle.
Man, getting jacked by Rick Ross.
Shit.
He would
I'm
eject
not
our
gonna lie
15.
though. Like, he's no joke. I would be intimidated by him if I got arrested and put in there.
Whoa.
Well, yeah, that is
He's
a large
big.
man.
He's a
That's-
large man with a scary beard.
He's always like, oh. It's like, did you poop a little bit?
Say dude. He just sounds like an old dude. Man, that's the sound I make
Yeah,
when I
little
get
bit
up.
dookie.
When I get up from the chair after sitting down for a couple hours.
Best believe I'm making a now.
Dude, he would have stole our 15-pound catfish, Joe.
Man, fuck Rick Ross. You keep your damn hands off my catfish.
Or he would have lowballed us.
Man,
Just keep your hands off me, Rick
man,
Ross.
that don't look like no $15 catfish to me. That's $7.
That looked like a $2 catfish right there. I'm like, bitch, it's like 15 pounds.
Come on, man. You can't play a player.
Just
My
trying to
old
will
school's
and
better than your
deal.
new school.
trying to will and deal a handicapped dude for his fish. That's fucked up.
Hey man, I'm just saying, at least he's treating you equally like he would anybody else he try to, rip off.
I'm happy for that.
I don't give a shit you on wheels or on feet. Give me your shit.
I'm still gonna rip your ass off.
This is 2019, dude. We're about equality.
Yep.
So,
yep. I will
I'm
rip you
telling you,
off
man.
equally as well.
Equal opportunity.
And I'm about to equally steal that motherfucker's fish over there too.
Excuse me a moment.
Some old lady just chilling, fishing, relaxing. He's like, "Whoa,
Listen, old bitch.
let me go ahead and get that fish." Maybach. This is Maybach music. God, dude.
Damn.
All right, now that we just hated on Rick Ross for 5 minutes.
Hey, Rick Ross.
There's one guest we're never going to get now.
Come on over.
Yeah,
Come on over, baby.
We're just playing
man.
around.
Man, I don't give a shit. If Rick Ross showed up at my door, I'd be like,
I'd pee.
Talking about if. I'm pretty sure I've seen Rick Ross at your house a few times.
oh, you're talking about Ed Lover.
I wasn't trying to put the man's real name out there or nothing.
Fuck that dude, man.
We can edit that out later. We're going to have to edit that out later.
That motherfucker was a scam artist, man.
Oh, dude. He probably was a cop, too.
He had like 3 or 4 fucking jobs, and this dude was still broke with a fucking Nissan. What was that? Nissan. Oh, what are they?
Dude, he had a fucking tricked out. It wasn't the. Oh my god. It wasn't Nissan. It wasn't. I wanted to say. I just lost the fucking name. It's not the fucking car anyway, so it doesn't matter. But
just a little fucking Nissan car with some big ass rims on it. It's like, man, you spent more on them rims than you did that car.
Dude, right? He had about $25,000 worth of rims on about $18,000 worth of car.
I mean, that's where they get you is the extra. Like Fortnite is a free game to play, but they've made over $2 billion in accessories.
Right.
That's just fucking good business too.
It's just because
I can't hate on that at all, dude.
I
can't either.
They speak to little kids whenever it comes to that shit, dude.
They know how to get
I mean,
them.
it's
They
good
know the
because,
fucking market, and they played the shit out of it, dude. And they didn't do it in a. I don't feel like anyway. They didn't do it in a predatory manner.
No,
I don't either.
But it's also affecting like children in school and shit like that, being bullied and stuff like that. Like, oh, you don't have that Fortnite skin and shit like that. And like kids are getting bullied. You hear that shit in tabloids all the time.
Fortnite, because they would have found something else to bully some kid about. A bully's gonna bully.
A bully's gonna bully. But I'm just saying that's one thing that they're like, oh, you're not good at Fortnite, blah blah blah, you suck and shit like that. It's like, man,
Yep.
The fucking.
No, I'm worried. I'm not good at Fortnite. Gonna have some 8-year-old reduce me to tears.
I'm gonna whoop your ass.
I'm sorry.
It's Rick Ross.
It's for real though, dude. These the default skins and the free skins are the Walmart shoes of the new generation, dude.
Man,
you got them skins at Walmart. I know you did.
Man, I hated that. I got.
That's my whole life.
So did I, dude. I never spent more than $20 on a pair of shoes until I was a grown ass man and decided I wasn't doing it to my feet anymore.
Yep.
Exactly.
I would get bullied so bad in high school. Like, oh, you got those clothes at Walmart, blah blah blah. It's like, man, fuck y'all.
Yeah.
So what? So what? Is I never understood.
Yeah, same here. And I'm like, so what? They're like,
just glad I have clothes.
Right.
Well, we shop at Old Navy. Like, yeah, and your parents are also fucking a bunch of idiots because that's overpriced.
Right?
Dude, I got in one of the worst fist fights I've ever been in, and I call it one of the worst I've ever been in because I felt bad about myself afterwards because of what I said to this dude. Uh-oh. Because, like, we're kids, right? So, as an adult, it's hard to feel guilty about it. Because I know, kids say dumb shit before they fully develop their empathy and shit. But I'm in middle school. Kids fucking ragging on me about my shoes and shit. And he's wearing a brand new pair of Fila's. Like, they're fucking out of the box. These things are fresh, brand new. Right? And he's just looking for somebody to fucking clown on. And I wasn't having it that day and shit. And he comes talking to me about my fucking Walmart shoes and shit, and I was like, yeah, you got Fila's instead of your I said, yeah, you went and got your new set of Fila's. Now I wonder how your fucking your little brother's gonna eat next week. And he was like, what the fuck did you just say? I was like, I said you wearing your little brother's fucking lunch money on your feet right now.
Oh my gosh,
dude! Remember
the guy, dude. At first, it didn't look like it was gonna turn into anything because he just stood there and looked at me. His eyes welled up with fucking tears because they really were having trouble like that, and he got those as a Christmas present, you know. So I found all this shit after the fight and shit. Like I got to get talked to by his I got to get talked to by his brother and his brother pretty much laid it all down. Was like, listen, this is the kind of life we're living right now, and he was really proud of his shoes because that's the first like nice thing he's ever had, that kind of situation. And I felt super bad about it at the time, and now as an adult I'm thinking, well, because I was a stupid kid. As an adult now I'm thinking, well, if that was the situation that they were in, maybe he shouldn't have took that opportunity to try to make somebody else feel shitty about the situation that he shares.
Exactly.
Shitty.
Right? Be proud of your shoes, but don't be a dick about it.
There's a way to be proud of what you got without putting somebody else down.
Yeah.
Right.
Be like, look at my shoes. That's it. That's all you need to do.
Yeah, dude. And dude, if it would have happened like that, I was the kind of dude that I would have straight up been like, dude, those are fucking badass. Like,
look at my wheelchair.
I'd have tried to fucking talk him up, try to make him feel good, because that's how I've always been. I don't get off on making people feel worse about themselves. That doesn't make me feel better about myself, because now I'm like, how big of a piece of shit am I?
See, like me and my brothers
went out of my way to
lucky.
make me feel like that.
Me and my brothers were lucky growing up because, like, I'm the oldest, so I didn't get hand-me-downs. And then me and my next youngest brother are 8 years apart, so he couldn't get my hand-me-downs.
Oh, man. That is lucky.
Dang.
Not lucky for your parents, but...
Yeah.
Well, it was my mom and my grandmother, and then, like, y'all know the inside story, but in the group of black people that always used to help me out.
Well, there you go.
Like Marvin, Lee, Tony, Black Brian. He wasn't always Black Brian, but somebody made this mistake of calling him Cauliflower Brian because he had cauliflower ears, and then then Brian cauliflowered that guy's left side of his face.
Fuck.
Man, there you go.
I mean, I saw this guy punch this guy because Brian had cauliflower ears, and and Brian did not play. I mean, this guy would pull out guns on one of the two main streets in my town and not give two craps. And so this guy is like, thought he was coming in. He was gonna come in, make a big first impression, be all head honcho with the group, and then he called Brian cauliflower, and freaking that Brian does without hesitation. Bust him in the face, and I see this guy's cheek skin split.
Woof.
Oh, wow.
God
Dude, definitely got cauliflowered.
Woof.
Oh.
Woof.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
That's a good fucking swing, though.
He must have got boxed in the ears a few times.
Oh, yeah. No, this guy fought. This guy liked to fight.
Oh, yeah.
Because he was a grown man, too. And I'd be walking home from school with one of my friends, they'd be coming over and whatnot. And Brian would be like, Nick, that guy fucking with you? I'm like, no, Brian, man, this is my buddy. He's like, all right, you tell him he fucks with you, I'll fuck him in his ass. I'm like, no, Brian, you can't do that.
Come here, little boy.
Oh,
I understand this is coming from a good place, but don't do that.
Please don't rape people on my behalf.
I appreciate it, and I'm glad to know that that's an option.
You picking on my boy?
Goodness.
Pucker up, bitch. It's coming.
We.
God damn.
I forgot to silence my phone.
Oh, no.
Oh, I'm glad you said that. So did I.
We'll be here.
This is the remix podcast.
I don't have a shock mount or nothing on my fucking mic, so you'd hear my shit vibrating on my desk. That's all you'd hear. Everybody be talking, and all of a sudden,
Joe's dildo's on.
oh man,
He calls it the jackhammer.
Yeah.
I didn't name it that. That's what the company named it.
I call it Goldberg.
That's right.
Man, he's gonna spear you.
No, I call him Bill. Other
What's
people
the
have to
point
call
of
it
buying
Goldberg.
it?
Right. Man, it's a macho dildo.
If I'm feeling
You just
very
going to
proper, I'll call
masturbate
it
with
William.
it. I like to. I'm gonna get one dressed up a store and be like, just look at myself in the mirror. It's like, do you want me to lay the hammer down? And just start going at myself.
I can just see it now, dude. You're just. What's that sound?
You take this, Dick Mjolnir.
He has this big ass like hammer, and he's just like.
I come, lightning shoots out my dick.
Oh my god. They make Avengers dildos and shit like Hulks and shit, and
Oh, we had
Walmart started selling dildos.
Walmart did.
Whoa, no.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Whoa.
So you can get that bargain, Matt. You can get that bargain mortgage. Fuck it.
The great value dildo.
I was gonna say that bargain orgasm, but my mouth was like, no, we're not.
We're not saying those two words together, sir.
Hell yeah.
You won't even.
Orgasm should not be at a bargain.
You won't even.
No.
You won't even skimp on toilet paper. We're not talking about bargain nuts here, sir.
Oh, you're gonna get that John Wayne toilet paper, but you better get that.
No, you can ask Joe.
dildo.
Back in the day, I'd be broke as fuck. No food in the fridge, nothing. But I had good ass toilet paper.
I'm not shitting you. I made a trip to Denton one time to take this full groceries, and he had a full ass pack of fucking Charmin Ultra in his bathroom.
Boom.
And you know what? I wasn't even mad at it because I do the same shit.
Yep.
I never had discount toilet paper in my house until my wife decided that it was the same thing and bought a big pack of it once.
No.
True grit.
It's not
True
grit.
Baby, that was $3 for a 36 roll pack for a reason.
Right.
And she's like, I like
True
to
grit
say
toilet paper.
That's like one
For the
step below
pilgrim in
tree
all of
bark.
us.
Right. That shit is 1 ply 80 grit. Like,
Dude,
Man, you're gonna be pulling
can't-
back some
I was
fucking
gonna
flesh.
I was about to say you can't
Tearing out all
do
kinds of hair.
the whole like wipe and check method because you're never gonna pull back something clean. It's just eventually gonna turn from brown to red.
yeah, you don't want to see that. You don't want to know. You just
No, dude, that's
Well,
nightmare
like-
fuel.
I'm
Wipe it
okay with bright red. It's dark red when I would get worried.
Well,
I don't like
mean,
any
you
kind
would
of
have to-
red.
You know.
You would have to get worried.
Yeah.
Well, at least you don't gotta shave your ass.
It's like, yeah, dude,
Well,
if
I
I
just
just
get it
buffed
waxed.
my asshole off, I'd be worried.
You just get one of those buffers and you put toilet paper on there and turn it on and sit on top.
And
Just
then
one of
us
those
fat
old
guys
shoe
got to find a
shine
way to get
things.
it clean, dude.
This-
That's a lot of real estate to cover, my man.
Man, that's why I just got this brand new Sawzall.
oh god.
My
But
turd
you know what I
cutter,
wonder?
my turd cutter quit working ever since my wife bought that sandpaper and I sawed it off or rubbed it off.
You know what I wonder? It's like, how do big people wipe themselves thoroughly?
Big people.
They
Like
don't.
600 pounds plus.
I was
I don't think they
watching
do.
My 600 Pound Life, unfortunately, and this dude has his dad help him wipe his ass, and then there was sometimes his dad wasn't around, and he would get in, those big ass watering troughs that they feed like for horses and shit.
Yeah.
Oh good
He
god.
got it one of those, and he was like, I'll just sit in there until I thought I was clean.
Oh my
What?
Oh
god.
my god, dude, you're sitting in there in your bath water in a horse trough with shit particles.
Oh,
God.
that is fucked, man.
Wow.
This dude was
That's,
like 800 pounds.
You gotta do what you gotta do at that point, I guess, but
I guess so.
damn.
Shit.
You talk
I
about
would
some
be on an
motivation. You talk
I'd be
about
on an
some
extremely
motivation.
low fiber diet.
Dad! Dad! Help me! Like, man.
I
Dad,
was looking at it like, that shit's
back
supposed
me.
to stop at like 5.
That shit looked like Willy Wonka's chocolate factory
Hold on,
last
that's me knocking on
time.
my door.
Come with me and you'll be in a world of pure shit.
Full blown diuretic shit.
Just
Man.
diarrhea. Oh my God, no, I'm sorry. I think I'm a good parent. If my kid wants to blow up to 800 pounds and not work on themselves, I'll be damned if I'm going to go wipe one of their asses. For
No.
one, I shouldn't be
and
looking at my grown kid's butt, period.
This dude was
Listen, you
our
figure it out.
age. This dude was our age too, man. And
Fuck
his
that,
dad
dude.
would. Well, the deal was his mom and his dad divorced. He lived with his mom, and his mom abused him. And so he went and lived with his dad, and his dad always worked, like from sun up to sundown and shit like that. And he was never at the house, but the only time they got to spend with each other was whenever he would bring
He's
home
wiping
food.
his ass.
No, this is before he got really, really fat. But he was already a really big dude in high school. But his dad would always bring home like McDonald's or fast food and stuff like that because he didn't have time to cook. And
I
that was the only
understand
time that they got to spend together
You make
was
time to cook.
whenever they're fucking eating, together and shit like that. And he just got really bad, and his dad would just
Go ahead.
even whenever he got big, his dad would still bring him like the fast food and shit like that because they've been doing it for fucking 20 years. And it's just
And that fast food, he probably associates like a good feeling. That feeling he gets of spending time with his dad, and with that fast food taste. So he'll probably go out to get McDonald's or get Burger King, to try to relive that feeling. And fast food itself is addictive.
Yeah.
So I mean, you when you're searching for that good feeling on top of a food crack, it's gonna build up.
Yep.
And I can't blame a guy.
The addiction.
I really can't blame a guy too much for trying to find that comfort.
Not at all.
That's the kind of stuff that, I mean, just chasing the emotional feelings and stuff like that. That's where a lot of, not just food addiction, that's where a lot of addiction comes from.
Yep.
You got a hole you're trying to fill.
Time in your life.
Mm-hmm.
So,
man,
that's really, really rough, really sad story, but.
Yeah, but to that extent, and I don't want to come off as a dick here, but once you're 500, 550, 600, like at what point, what's the give up? Yeah, what's the give up and just go with it to get as big as you can to the, okay, I need to get this shit situated.
Right. How big do you need to get to realize it's going to change?
Some people
like if you're a sumo wrestler, I get it. Get big.
Well, yeah. That's a little different, though.
Yeah, but they're also, like, healthy big, too. Those guys, like, they eat a lot, but they're also on, like, a regimen, shit like that, too. They have to be because of the sport that they're in and stuff.
Yeah.
There's this thing in Japan where they'll take sumo wrestlers, and they'll have these sumo wrestlers shake these newborn infant babies until they cry, and then whoever cries first wins.
Oh, I feel like shaking a baby.
I feel like that should be an Olympic sport.
Good guy.
Baby shaking?
Yeah. You get the baby can get a medal, and the sumo guy can get a medal.
Joe's like, take it to your room, son, before I start shaking you.
Don't make me bring that sumo wrestler next door over here.
I'm going to start my Olympic training right now, boy.
I'm going to get my adult diaper.
Man.
Yeah, of all the days for them to drop him off 40 minutes early.
Oof.
Right?
It's all, yeah, it's all good.
That's kind of what I said. I love that she's home, but it's like, damn it if they didn't close work and keep my wife here.
On the one day I need the house to myself.
Woman, you need to go to work. And she's like, I can't even get out the front door.
I don't care if Elsa's on the rag. You need to get out.
You bundle your son and your wife. Shoo them out the front door. It's like it's zero degrees outside, and you're like, you'll be okay. Y'all go to the park. I'll see y'all later.
Go take Elsa some chocolate and some Midol. I'm sure she'll let up.
Just kick all doors. The ice will fall off. I'm sure.
Build an igloo. You'll be fine.
You'll get in.
You've seen that movie Frozen, right? Well, you'll get there. Oh, dude. Speaking of Frozen, there was a lady in Michigan tall or something like that. I forget where it was. But anyway, she left her kids in the car and went into a supermarket, and her kids froze to death.
No.
Oh my
Yeah.
fucking god,
I'm really
dude.
upset right now.
Son
Yeah,
of a
dude,
bitch.
it's like, and they're trying to figure out. It's like they would have to go through hypothermia, and then like their organs would have to shut down and stuff like that. So it would take a while.
Not
You know, it would
for
take
not for like a little kid though.
for a
They're
little kid, but the way that they were frozen, it seemed like they were in there for quite a while. And that lady's like, I was only in the store for 30 minutes, and that was bullshit.
That's 30 minutes too long.
Yeah, you're goddamn right it is. Even if it was only 30 minutes.
I don't even leave my kids in the car to go inside and pay for gas.
No,
Nope.
me
Don't
neither.
do it.
No,
You know?
You don't do it.
I just don't get like how you can be such a stupid fuck.
yeah, and
An
they froze
inconsiderate,
to
stupid
death.
fuck. And then she had to have left the car not even running with heat on.
No, the car didn't have AC. It didn't have heat. And she just seemed like she didn't give a shit. Like the entire investigation, it just seemed like she didn't give a shit.
Well, she going to jail now. I hope they fucking put her under the
I was
jail.
getting ready to say the
Getting what
exact
you
same
get.
fucking thing, dude.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's just
There's
fucking.
very
I mean, at
few
that
things
point,
that make me
Somebody
as
in
mad.
the jail will.
you
They'll
killed
do it.
your 2 kids. You should
One-
go to death row.
One
Yeah.
was 2 and one was 5.
You should go to death row twice. They should kill you, revive you, make you spend 10 years in goddamn solitary confinement hole, and then kill you again.
Huh. Damn,
I'm sorry, it's
Yeah.
just
that's ridiculous.
they,
Man.
is,
People
man.
are
you
negligent.
are the reason they have anything positive or negative. And then, like you were saying, she acted like she didn't give a shit. So it sounds like one day she just stopped. Oh, I'm not going to be a parent no more.
Yeah,
Fuck
that's
off.
and they're doing like investigation. It's an ongoing investigation. No, it's like they were frozen to the point where like those babies were stiff.
God damn it, man.
They pulled him out of the car or whatever, and like the guy that was writing the article and stuff like that had police reports and shit like that, and the cop that pulled him out of the car because a bystander saw that there was children in this car. They said that those babies were already, they were stiff, so they had been in there for a while.
So, to me, it sounds like they were dead pre supermarket trip.
Yeah,
Like-
that's
Like
what
that
they're
was her
thinking.
She
cover?
went in there, and that sounds like a cover.
Oh
Yeah,
man.
That's what they're thinking.
My head didn't even go there. That's even fucking darker, dude. I don't know.
Like-
Is it darker?
It's a
But
comedy show.
ugh. Well, we vary on that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
for sure.
that was just a joke. But I mean, like, it's gotta, like, this is something that needs to be talked about.
Yeah, it is for sure.
You know, like, gross, just beyond gross negligence.
If you're not gonna take care of your children or not want to take care of children, have that responsibility, there's ways of going about it.
Every hospital in the country is a no questions asked. You take your kids there and you can drop them off. Fire stations too,
yeah.
if I remember correctly. You can take your
Yeah,
kids there,
fire
drop them
stations
off. There's
too.
no questions asked, and they did that specifically to stop this kind of shit.
Yeah.
Yep.
And yet it still happens.
Because
Because, I get
Well,
it. Not
you
everybody's
should.
meant to be a parent.
And sometimes you don't find that out, unfortunately, until it's too
until
late.
you are one.
Right.
yeah.
Yep. But there are other ways, man.
Yeah.
There are other ways.
Exactly.
Yeah, man,
And
don't
you
kill
get
the
these people who
kids.
do
Look.
the opposite way too. Like you get these kids freezing in the car, and then there's the parents who, in the dead of summer, right?
Leave their kids in the hot car.
It's
That
already
hap-
95 degrees outside.
That
and
happens
you
Yep.
here
get in the car,
all the time.
It
and you're
does
like,
every
Oh,
fucking
I
year.
cracked the
Fragile.
windows, but even cracking the it's still. I mean,
Fucking
even
hot.
an oven has a relief vent,
And
and it still gets up to 400 degrees.
And still, they do that to like animals and shit like that. We see
I hate
people
hearing that shit.
fucking. We see people picking up bricks and shit like that and throwing it through windows and stuff to
Yeah.
save animals.
And
they
the-
don't give a
I'll
fuck.
do
And the
that
cops
shit.
have
If I
come
see a
out. The
dog
cops
in a
came
car-
out. The cops came out on TV. It was about 2 years ago because there was a ungodly fucking rash of those hot car deaths for kids like that in Texas. And it was like toward the middle of the summer. And the Dallas police chief went on the local news and said that you will face no charges for busting into a vehicle to rescue an animal or a child.
Yep.
I love
And
it.
you see
And
them,
after that
dude,
happened, oh, dude, after he said that, dude, you can't walk 5 feet from your fucking car without somebody running at you like, am I going to get a chance to bust this motherfucker's window?
They
People
go.
sitting outside Walmarts and shit.
Man, they just camping out there with a brick in each hand, just waiting, dude.
You gonna leave your dog in the car? Well, the AC's running.
We're vigilante masonries.
Matter of fact, that summer was where those memes started coming from, where you started seeing people posting their pictures of their dog in their car, and said the car's running, the AC's gone, AC's on, and his favorite song is playing. Please don't break the window.
And I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
You leave the AC on. No, not with the
Yes.
child.
Not with
like
the child,
a dog
no.
or a cat, like a pet. Yes, a child. No, take your fucking kid in. It's part of the package fucking deal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a lot more common for someone to come and jack your kids than it is for them to come and try to jack your dog.
Right? Pets are way
dogs
less valuable.
fight.
And I think a lot of people don't realize too, like just on the slightly, well, actually, a fucking lot less dark side of things. A lot of parents don't really realize, like they focus on their personal inconvenience, but they don't realize how much a kid, especially between the ages of like 2 and 8, how much they learn just from observing their parents' interactions with the rest of the world.
Yep.
Just something as simple as going into a store, picking up a couple of sodas, and paying for them, saying thank you, and leaving. They see that. They see you engaging in those transactions and things like that, and how you interact with the people that are helping you, and they learn, as basic as you can put it, they learn how to be a human being by observing you being a human being. Take your kids with you. Even if it's just a 5-minute trip down the road, take your kids with you and let them watch you do your thing.
No,
Yeah.
they learn.
You know, now that we got a yard at my house, now they got a house with a yard.
Yeah.
Freaking, I'm building this backyard up to be so we can come out here and do stuff together. You know,
Fucking right.
Heck
you know,
yeah.
I got some cornhole going on. There's a little basketball goal. Me and my parents told me they'll go in half on me of a nice ass swing set, because I have a big
Nice,
paranoia.
dude.
Like, I can't bring myself to take my kids to the park. Like, I get such bad anxiety that I get angry, and that's not fair to the kids in both aspects. It's not fair that I take them and then I'm just angry because I'm so anxious, and it's not fair that they don't get to go because of my anxiety. So I'm like, I'm gonna bring the fucking park to the house.
Yeah, may as well.
Fuck yeah, dude.
I don't know why. I see I want my kids to have friends, but then I see my kids playing with kids that I don't know, and I don't like that.
Well, I mean, that's just, I
Yep.
mean, to put it bluntly, you got to get the fuck over that and in a real big hurry.
Yeah, I know. Like,
I'm the same way. I'm the
birthday
same way with
parties,
mine,
like,
though.
I take them to
Like,
birthday parties. I take them to birthday parties and the school things and such like that. Like, if Layla goes to daycare, Tina goes to an after-school program, and so I do other things so that they can interact with other kids. But it's just the park. I don't know what it is. I cannot. It's a weakness for me. I'm fine with them having kids over to the house to play on the swing set. It's just in the public. Because say they're playing and then one of the kids get bad and pushes my kid or hurts my kid, and then I punch that little kid, and then I have to get beat up by their parent because, you know, I can take on a child. An adult's a different situation.
don't get me wrong, I ain't trying to sound tough, but I'll fuck a 5-year-old up, man.
In a heartbeat.
Come here, little boy. Rick Ross rolls up. Oh. Oh, dude, there's something going on right now here in Texas. A group of truckers protest with slow road through North Texas. Like, they're getting their what these truckers are doing, and there's like 20 or 30 of these trucks that are doing 40 miles an hour doing in the right lane of I-35 to protest the their rights and regulations of the trucking companies, and they're not getting the right they're not getting the right I forget the word, but seeking sensible regulations that work for the industry as a whole. allowing freedom and flexibility on a bias suitable for all trucking businesses to operate on. So yeah, financially stressed for the purposes solely we provide an endless source of revenue for a plethora of agencies. These truckers are standing up against their the businesses that hire them and stuff like that because they wanted their some regulations gone and some regulations put in that they can only do so much work and stuff like that in a given amount of time and still be under the stress of having to get the loads and stuff like that in at the proper time and stuff. And these dudes are like socking it to them, like not picking up any loads, and there's like 30 trucks just in a convoy protesting that shit in the right way.
Then why don't they all get arrested? Because I
doing
believe
anything
convoys are illegal.
Well, I mean,
convoy.
no.
I believe convoys are illegal. Like you can only have so many
Then why
diesels
isn't
back to back to back. Maybe it's because they're not driving. You can't do shit about a parked car.
Oh no, they're driving. They're cruising down the highway.
Yeah,
I
they're
mean, like I get it. You want a better work life. I get that, but they're gonna fuck a lot of shit up.
Yeah, it's
Like,
true.
stuff not getting delivered and people not getting their things.
So the thing about the convoy, if these guys aren't actually carrying loads, they're fine. The thing about the convoy is that it's the number of people in a convoy is limited by the loads. It's not limited by the trucks. So up to 4 loads, 110 feet to 150 feet long, and they have to be escorted by one front escort and one rear escort. The oversized loads escorts you see. So if these guys aren't actually carrying loads and they're just carrying empty trailers or just bare tractors, they're fine.
There's a live there's live footage of it. I just clicked on my phone just to see what's going on in North Texas. Dude, they're moving they're moving like 30 deep, man. And they're giving people the proper like length so they can, go around them and shit like that, but they're cruising at 45 miles an hour.
Being stuck behind that would be super fucking irritating. But
but they're only taking one lane.
Yeah, they're not shutting down traffic, right? And so they're I can kind of get behind the way they're doing it. Not positive if I necessarily agree with relaxing the regulations, because one of the reasons the electronic logs were put in place is because drivers were being not just encouraged, but in a lot of cases, and I witnessed this myself, and so did you, Nick. Drivers were being threatened into fudging their logs, like faking their logs, so they can get more hours on the road than is safe. You have to have a certain number of hours consecutive rest, because driving while you're tired is at the very least just as bad as driving while you're legally drunk.
Yeah.
And you're carrying 100,000 pounds or more. You need to be on your game. So I understand that. Now, where I kind of start to agree with them, now the electronic loggers, I think that they need to be there, but I'm not a truck driver. I just kind of, I work near them. The things I start to agree with them on, though, is where you start having tolls on the roads that they're required to travel being raised, and a lot. Okay, no trucking company is required to cover the tolls. Okay, that is on the driver. Some trucking companies do it. They don't all do it. So that's
independent. Are they classified as independent contractors?
They are independent. All these truck drivers that are riding right now, they're independent.
Yeah, that's another thing we should probably say. Everything we're talking about right now is specific to independent contractors, like owner operators and stuff like that. We're not talking about a company employed person driving a company owned truck. But you start talking about the tolls, which is going to come out of the driver's paycheck. Okay, so that's a business expense for the driver, which they count, since they're independent contractors, they count as his personal business expense. Yeah. But the toll prices are going up.
Roads still suck.
Right. A lot of companies, to save money, this is a corporation problem in this country specifically. Companies, especially in this country, it's a worldwide thing for some parts, but it's a kind of a cultural thing in the United States where these companies put profits, their quarterly profits above everything else. And what I mean is they can't just be in the positive. They want to show growth every quarter.
Yes, they do.
So if that means they're not making any more money this quarter, they got to take that money from somewhere so they can show some growth.
Yeah, and
that's when they cut the rates. These companies are paying less. They're wanting them to drive the same amount of miles, but they're wanting them to do it in less pay with less time. And when I say less time, legally they're not having time taken away from them. Practically they are, because a lot of these dispatchers and stuff are coercing drivers into breaking the law by fudging their logs and driving more hours than they're supposed to.
Yeah.
Well, look at the company we worked for, and they had that one guy, Hispanic gentleman, that they ran him so much within the course of 2 weeks, he fell asleep behind the wheel twice.
He almost died
because they kept running him, and then they fired him.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah, he was one of those drivers that would not say no. If dispatch said, "Hey, we are in a pinch. We really, really need this. Can you do it?" He was on it. Yeah, I got you.
They should have just got Greg to do it.
A lot of times he was.
Yeah.
But they put him on local stuff because that was a fast son of a bitch. So where a lot of drivers were running a max of 2 loads a day, that dude would pull 6.
Yeah,
Hey man, Gary too. When Gary would feel like working.
Those were 2 guys that every time we knew they were going to be hitting our dock, we had a trailer ready. Other people had to wait. Those 2 guys were our golden geese. They got us out of there. There was more days than I can count where we would have been stuck there till 6, 7 a.m. if it weren't for them 2.
Yep.
So, yeah, I mean, a lot of these regulations, though, are coming down on the truckers' heads. The state and federal regulations a lot of times don't do a damn thing to monitor dispatchers and company owners and stuff like that who are threatening these men and women with their livelihoods. They usually, you want to eat next month? Then you're going to take this fucking load. I don't care if you haven't slept in 20 hours. And I mean, dude, I watched that happen so many times. And growing up, I had an uncle who was a truck driver, and I heard these stories from him. So this is not a new thing.
I love how each and every one of these dudes has a Texas and American flag flying in the back of their truck.
Oh yeah.
Like standing up for some shit. America, goddamn it.
Well, if it's in North Texas, shoot, the company we used to work for might have had a fuck it, I forgot the word. Mutiny. That's it.
Mutiny.
Yeah.
Maybe it's like whenever people get tired of so much shit, they will absolutely buck the system and continue on doing what they believe in. It's especially whenever it comes
like this.
Especially whenever it comes to people's families and stuff like that and people's livelihoods and shit. None of those diesel trucks that these dudes are driving around in were cheap.
Oh hell no. Hell no. For the most bottom of the barrel piece of shit bucket of bolts that you could possibly hope to own and actually get road legal, you're still looking at a minimum of $100,000.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, these trucks are just so goddamn expensive. The engines alone are $75,000. These things are fucking nuts when it comes to how much they cost. And a lot of that cost comes from the fact that, they're selling these for a specific purpose, and they know that the people that are buying them are going to take these vehicles and go make a boatload of money with them, or at least going to try, so they want to get their share.
No.
So, yeah, I mean, these guys, they buy in, these owner-operators and stuff, they buy in, and a lot of times they're taking out second mortgages on their homes, taking out huge bank loans that a lot of times they can't afford because this is what they love to do. They love to be on the road. And Just because they love to do this doesn't mean that they should have to put up with getting treated like second-class citizens, you know? And that's a part of corporate culture as a whole. It's not just truck driving. That's corporate culture as a whole, treating people like, you know, numbers and resources rather than human beings with thoughts and feelings and needs and dreams. And you can't keep treating people like that. You can't. It's not. I mean, it's not just happening in the truck driving. People are fighting the fuck back. We got teachers. We got teachers striking all over the country. Now you got this happening
because of the fucked up pay and stuff like that. Those teachers get man, they're teaching the world. They're teaching the world. You know,
they're the most important people on the planet.
Exactly, and they just get treated.
Or one of, at least, you know, as a group.
Yeah.
Our teachers are directly responsible for the effectiveness of our future generations. If we've got shit teachers, we're gonna have shit people.
Yep.
You're gonna have stupid people. You're gonna have selfish people. I learned more from all the teachers that I had about how to be a decent human being than I ever learned from anybody in my family growing up. Like, my teachers were not just teachers; they were counselors. They were friends in some cases. They were role models. And in several cases that I personally witnessed, and nobody ever had to come to my defense like this, but in several cases, physical defenders. You know, I've watched teachers step in between an abusive parent and their kid and take it right square in the jaw, and didn't hesitate and would never hesitate again. Like, these people, not all of them, obviously. There's going to be shitbags in every profession, but for the most part, they're not doing this shit for the money. There is no public school teacher in this country that is getting paid what could be considered a lavish wage by any stretch of the imagination. Nope. They're not doing this shit for the money. They're doing this shit for the love of the kids and the hope for our next generation. And we gotta step up and start taking care of the people that take care of us. Yep. These teachers take care of our kids. These truck drivers literally keep us fed. They get the groceries to the store. They get the fuel to the station. They get the fuel to the fucking power station so that we can have lights. They're not kidding in this article, and they're not trying to sound tough or anything about it. They keep this fucking country running.
Yep.
Yeah.
Without them, they said it. Without us, America doesn't operate, and that is 100% true.
And they deserve, you know, their wages and stuff like that. They deserve to be treated fairly and stuff like that. Whenever a company shits on you, every single one of us has dealt with that. Whenever a company shits on you, you just feel like, you know, it's them against you. You just feel like the entire world's against you and shit like that. It's like, man, I wish I could do something. Well,
makes you kind of feel worthless, you know, like.
Yeah, that's not how it should be.
Yeah.
No, there should be more people that stand up for what they believe in and stuff like that. And I'm not talking no Che Guevara bullshit or anything like that. I'm talking like real things that the world needs, like these dudes.
Yeah, and these dudes are doing it right. You know, they're not hurting anybody. They're not holding anybody hostage. They're not blowing things up.
Yeah.
They're protesting in the most American way I think possible.
With
flags. They're doing it safely too.
And they're doing it safely, yeah. Well, the argument against safety can, I guess, be made because driving that slow on the freeway can cause somebody that's not paying attention to run into you.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, well, you know, there's that argument to be made too.
Cool thing about it is if you watch the video and stuff like that, they're staying a few car lengths behind each other. And some of them are cruising beside each other or whatever, but they're staying a few car lengths behind each other so cars can actually go in and out of traffic and shit like that. And they're in the slow lane too, so.
And it seems like truck drivers get like they get viewed in like a lowly disposition, you know? Because me and Joe work with truck drivers. You know, I've met some great people that drive trucks. I met some shitty ones too. But like at my job I have now, I have this old man. He comes through. He gets him a few of them airplane bottles of Crown about twice a week. You know, and he logged over 4 million miles as a truck driver. It's what he did from the time he was 18 till he was in his 60s. And then he comes through one day, and after he got done driving a truck, he published a book of poems that got preserved in the Library of Congress.
Whoa,
and
damn.
So I'm just saying, yeah, he gave me a signed copy of it and everything, because you know, where I work, I have a bunch of people coming with some outlandish stories, but he brought me a signed copy of the book. His face is on the cover. And I looked in there, and it's sure enough got that seal of the Library of Congress. That's what I mean. Like, there's people like that.
That's pretty
There's
amazing.
intelligent people who just want to drive a truck. There's good people who just want to drive a truck. So why shouldn't they, in any position, fight for a better job? They love driving a truck. Sure, they could go out and get a different job, but they found something that they want to do, and they're showing how much dedication they have to it, that they're willing to fight.
Yeah,
to be able to keep that job.
Hell yeah.
They deserve appreciation, man, and those businesses are just socking it to them and making them just feel shitty, making them.
Well, there's it's just one of them unsung hero jobs, you know, like, you know, everybody appreciates a doctor, but there's still that thing, you know, they feel like a doctor's supposed to do that because they're a doctor. No, this person chose to do this because he wants to help people. He doesn't owe you anything. You should just be appreciative that he's in that position to help you out if need be.
Yeah, that is true.
Yeah.
You know, like our garbage truck people who come and pick up our filth and our waste every week.
You know what's funny about that? Haley did too when she was little.
I wanted to be a garbage truck driver. You fucking or the dude that throws the garbage in there. Maybe?
That's what Haley wanted to do. She wanted to ride on the back of the truck.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, dude.
I'm down, dude. That's badass.
But then you see them out there on the back of that truck, and when it's raining cats and dogs outside, you're like, nah. Nah.
Or whenever it's cold as shit, man. You see them bundled up.
Can't handle the cold.
Yeah, those garbage dudes up here are freezing.
That's got to be a whole different breed up there.
Right?
I tell you what.
Y'all got legit frost giants up there collecting your garbage.
Right. There's a couple of dudes who, if covered in enough snow, would look like fucking frost giants.
Man. Motherfuckers with polar bear DNA running around up Michigan. Well. So yeah. Go truck drivers. Get your protest on, guys.
Good luck to you.
Go truck drivers.
I promise not to curse or honk at you if I end up stuck behind you on the highway.
Unless I give you that international sign where you're supposed to honk your horn and you don't do it, then fuck you.
Sometimes those dudes are cruising though, man. Sometimes those dudes get up and haul ass.
Yeah, they do.
Man, that's cool that we have a. I don't know. It just makes me feel like you know, I can stand up for what I believe in. So like that just I guess a little bit of hope or something like that. And it's just cool to see people taking that informative to doing it, man.
Yeah, I just hope it works out for them because honestly, like, look at your general opinion of truck drivers. People can't stand them, and it's because you end up on the road with them, and their trucks are huge, heavy, and slow. You get stuck behind them, and you get mad because all you want to do is get to where you're going, but now you're driving 25 mile an hour slower because this dude's carrying 100,000 pounds and he can't do better than 60.
Yeah, but who's toting around that fucking vehicle you're driving around in and stuff like that? And who's toting around the toilet paper you're wiping your ass with?
Yeah, people don't think about that. People do not think about that. They think about their own immediate personal inconveniences. And
I mean, Titus really opened my eyes up to that, you know, of being more considerate of truck drivers and stuff like that.
And fuck protecting their name. I usually don't say their name on stream, but if you're a truck driver, don't go work for Titus Transportation in Texas. They're pieces of shit.
Don't do it.
And don't come to my house.
Because I ain't dragging shit for you.
No.
We'll just hook a trailer up to the back of your wheelchair, send you down I-35.
Man, I'll be behind those dudes. Hell yeah. Just cruising and be like, There's a dude in a wheelchair that just joined the convoy.
Everybody stop. There's the Pokemon out in that field. I gotta go get it.
Hold on.
I could just see him just trying to save some wheelchair battery. Just throw that bitch in neutral and turn it off and just hold the bumper.
Hell yeah. Those motherfucking wheels would be smoking after a while, boy.
The brakes would just melt.
Man.
Oh man.
Shit.
I'm down, dude. Put a big ass American and Texas flag on my back.
Yeah.
Have somebody walk behind me so they don't drag the ground.
Get a tramp
Right.
stamp of a license plate.
Dude, hell yeah. I'm down. Well, I'll see y'all guys later. I'm going to the convoy.
That's like sounds like just that's gonna be the next Transformers bad guy.
Just a dude in a wheelchair?
With a license plate tramp stamp.
I like it.
Just transforming slowly.
Right.
Hold on a sec.
Give me a minute, I'm handicapped.
It's all loud and shit like that. It's like, damn.
What the hell?
You're not a good.
It's just beep beep. Beep.
You're not a. You're not a good Decepticon.
I hate to do it, but I think I gotta split for a while.
Alrighty, bub.
Yep. Relieve the way.
I think this seems like a good place to end it.
Well,
On a fun-
we are about 20 minutes over an hour anyway.
How good that gives us editing time.
Yep.
There we go.
Yep.
Anyways, my name is
Hey.
Aquaberry. My name is Aquaberry Shark.
I'm Merithidian.
I'm Tingles Bay.
I'm Regular Joe. Thanks for coming and hanging out with us again, guys.
And welcome to the Savage Society.
Keep looking out if you haven't done it yet. Hit that subscribe button. This is going to be a weekly thing. We've also got some ARC projects coming up. And there's going to be a trailer for that coming out middle of next week. So if you haven't done it yet, hit that sub button.
Get all those notifications for it.
Hell yeah. Yeah, I forgot about the bell. Hit the bell.
Click
Ring the
on
bell.
the bell.
Click on the
Ring
bell.
my bell.
And come back and see us next week, guys.
Goodbye,
Good night.
everybody.
Bye bye.